Flame wheel. Thanks for being here at the top of the stream, my dude. I got started a little late today. Admittedly, that's because I woke up literally like 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago. It's it's a thing. I have the chili dogs. Dude, chili dogs sound delicious. I blame D&D? No, it wasn't D&D. We got home at like, maybe just after like 11. That's a reasonable time to get home. Yeah, boy was up until 6 something in the morning. That is not a reasonable time to fall asleep. It's up until like 6:30. Padawan, how's it going, man? Going good. Glad to catch the beginning of a stream for once. You're probably able to catch the beginning of this stream because I started like an hour late. Ugh. A new snapshot. Blubbergum. Minecraft snapshot. $20W09A. The target block. Crying obsidian block. What is a crying obsidian block? Eldrian, how's it going? I can catch it because I'm not chasing a super obscure, but at work that should not be broken / alt. I can catch it because I'm not chasing a super obscure, but at work that should not be broken. Those are words. Those are English words. I don't know what any of them mean. I'm not chasing a super obscure, but at work that should not be broken. I think it's trying to talk to me, chat room. Here we have the wild Padawan. Bug. Sorry, autocorrect. I can catch it because I'm not chasing a super obscure bug at work. They should not be broken. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah. Alright, chat room. Check this out. We built the Iron Golem, yeah? The Iron Golem farm. It's going pretty good. We also built the melon and pumpkin farm over here. It's going pretty good. I want to point out that we're getting an Iron Golem to spawn, like, all the frickin' time. We have the silk tie. Oh, yeah, well, there's another one. Like, look at this. All the time. We just saw one die. Boom, here's another one. Now he's gonna die. Now, I want to show you something. And before I show you this, you need to know something. I don't want to look in the chest yet. I don't want to look at... Most of us already know this. Most of us already... I don't have any iron. Okay, it looks like we're just going to have to go for it. Dude, there's another one. This is actually insane. It's decorative, but they said it'll have functionality later. How do you make it, Blubbergum? The crying obsidian block. How do you make it? Miss Taco just popped in to say hi. I was literally about to sleep when the notifications came. Oh. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing absolutely fantastic. Have a good day, yo. Well, same to you. Thank you for the kind words. Look at that. Look at that. Look at him. Look at him. He's just dying. He's just burning. That's amazing. Okay. The grand reveal. Once he dies. Wow. Except this is actually crazy impressive because I came in here and converted them all into blocks of iron, and we have each block of iron represents a full row of iron bars. So that's a row. That's a row. That's a row. That's a row. This is a whole row. So then this is a whole row. I don't even have, like, that's how much iron we have. We've gotten so much freaking iron. Already, this farm has produced, see, I keep converting it into iron blocks because space efficiency. We've already gotten more iron than we will be able to use in the lifespan of this world. And that's after, I didn't even AFK at it overnight. I just AFK'd at it for the duration of the D&D session last night. It's insane. What are you going to need is compact iron blocks. I mean, for real though. We have, I mean, that's, I kind of wanted to do like some quick math on this. How much iron golem? My browser is low. Iron golem drops 3 to 5 iron ingots. Let's say that that's a perfect distribution, so the average iron golem drops 4 iron ingots. Okay. Some quick maths. We're going to say... Okay. Let's say that we have 9 times 64, even though we don't. But we're just going to simplify the math a little bit. 9 times 64. So we have 576 blocks of iron. Okay. Times 9. And then that would give me how much individual iron is in there. It is in those blocks of iron, which comes out to 5,184. And then we divide 5,184 by 4, and this will tell me how many iron golems we've killed. Killed about 1,300 iron golems, chat room. Plus minus a bit. Which is, I mean, this is actually insane. It's actually insane. And see, there we go. Now my math is correct. There's 9 times 64 by the time we finish doing the math. Make the entirety of your castle with iron blocks just a flex. I mean, we could. That's kind of the point. Iron golem farms. Yeah, I mean, you remember back in the day, it was just a single. You had 2 layers, and then you put all of your villagers like in a pocket on the outside, or sometimes you would put them in the center, and then your 2 layers went to a hole in the middle, and then they would just drop down a tube. Yeah, you remember that? And you remember when we found out that you could do 2 layers, and it was like, oh man, this doubles the efficiency of the farm. It was so good. That was so much, like that was so much iron back in the day. And now we have this thing, which is just casually producing like, I think it's legitimately like 800 iron per hour. And then this guy's running as well. And I know that this doesn't look like a whole lot, but that's a ton of bone meal. Considering that each item that gets, oh, by the way, most of the poppies that came out of the iron farm, I put into this thing to convert into bone meal. That's an absolute, like, ton of items that have been produced, because you think that there are, what, 7 layers to a composter, there's only a percentage chance that a layer gets added. So it's like every 10 items that go into this thing is going to, it's probably even more than that. It's probably more like every 15 items that are created inside of the melon pumpkin farm generates 1 bone meal. So if you think that like every 15 to 20 items is worth 1 bone meal, we're talking about tens of thousands of items represented by, you know, 15 stacks of bone meal like that. The crying obsidian can only be got from bartering from piglins. Interesting. I saw in the patch notes that they said bartering with piglins is now more appealing to survival players. So we need dispensers, observers, some pistons. Those are placeholders. What did they change to make bartering more appealing to survival players? I need more regular. We need to add a couple more layers onto the whatchamacallit farm. A couple more layers onto the melon pumpkin farm. And that means I need more pistons. More pistons means I need more cobblestone. Jake D08. How's it going, man? Okay, I have to head out. I'll be back in about an hour or so, probably. James, take care. Have a nice Thursday afternoon. Where be the pistons? Oh, we don't have iron. Oh, haha. We don't have iron. Dinner and a show. Actually insane. What are we out of? Oh, it was just the way that the wood overlapped. That's why I didn't like it. I got you, I got you. Okay, we don't need that anymore. And now we need... Yeah, we need a ton more... hoppers. Yeah, it's hoppers. Man, if only we had like a really good source of iron. This would simplify this process so much. I think I need even more iron than that. No, I got stuck. Replace all the iron to the iron farm with iron for added irony. Nice, dude. This is just, it's actually insane. And see, then, whenever I start to notice that the poppies are getting full, once the iron stops coming in, I'll just grab them like that, and then we do need to set up a filter on that today to take out the poppies and do the things and basically automate what I'm doing here. Okay, so we need a bunch of dirt. A bunch of dirt. I also need to figure out which side. It's in this one. Is that it? We've got a bunch of hoppers, a bunch of dirt. I need a hoe. And chat room doesn't count. There's a hoe. So the tree farms, before we add the second layer, I need to figure out the tree farm. The tree farm has a preferred input for... I'm an idiot. The tree farm's preferred input for bone meal is on this side. And I've routed all of this bone meal onto the front right side and not the front left side. So the bottom layer will need to be, I don't know, reversed. And then we need to take a series of hoppers down here. And this also works out because the bone meal into the nano farm is on this side as well. I just, oh God, I didn't think about it. I was in such a rush because I was going to be late to D&D. Wow, Nims, wow. Yeah. It just blows my mind how good that is. And I just keep hearing them fall in there. Just that little splash. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, so all of this needs to be reversed. That is also dumb. I shouldn't have rushed it last night, but you know what? I got a half a double chest of bone meal out of it. So I've got that going for me, which is nice. We need to feed everything in this front right corner. A question. Make sure that we didn't lose any hoppers because each hopper represents like a billion frickin'... Oh, that's right. It doesn't matter anymore because we have unlimited iron. Can you... composter into the side of a hopper? Or can you hopper into the side of a composter? Might be a better way of phrasing that. Chance McClain. How's it going, man? There's some poppies. Okay, so the hopper must go into the top. Good to know, good to know. Okay, so that one always goes there with a hopper always underneath it with a... kitty cat. And then this does work, yeah. Okay, so we need to, same sort of thing. I need to check the patterning of the app data, roaming, Minecraft, screenshots. I need to check the pattern. And get them all to come in to this, like, lower right corner. And we'll just work one row at a time, because that made it feel a little bit easier yesterday. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All feeds into the side of him. We skip 1. Something happens kind of like that. And then blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then we skip. This one goes into the side. Skip into the side. Skip. This one will go into the side of a block that's here. Like that. And then skip, and then into the side. My God, dude. I'm glad that we put this far away from our base, because this is a little obnoxious. I'm very happy. It's the sound of joy. It's the sound of, like, pleasure. It's the sound of success. But it doesn't need to be such a loud, overwhelming sound. Okay, so this one kind of conveniently stretches. Like so. Maybe we should look at doing all of those first. All of the primary, because there's like 4 primary lines, and I think this is another one. I think that one goes like that, and then this one here, and then it does that, so that way we can have this like that. Which goes there. Okay, so there's our 4 primary lines. Maybe that helps me do this a little bit quicker. The biggest change I've seen with the new Piglin trades is that it's just more varied items. Do we have the list of what they're able to trade for now? Because it used to be that they would trade for obsidian and quartz, and that was kind of like the nuts, right? Those are hard to farm items. They're non-renewable. You just have to explore new chunks. You have to continue to mine your world. I guess there are obsidian farms, but they are hard as hell to build, because you have to build something like another portal, like destruction machine, and then it's just obnoxious. It's just obnoxious. And then quartz, you just can't get an infinite amount of quartz. Should be a little plus in the center forming. And there it is. And we just have this row left, right? We shouldn't have any like 2 dirt spots open next to each other. Oh, yeah, like this. That is always the same. Always. Reba Dragon Redeem. Hi, Dragon. What are you building? I am cleaning up the melon farm, so that way we can use the bone meal from the melon farm and the iron from the iron golem farm to make a tree farm. But we also need to update the iron golem farm to filter out its poppies and put them into a composter, kind of combining bone meal forces with the melon farm. So now we have the poppies, now we have the melons, now we have the pumpkins, all coming together to give us a large amount of bone meal to run the tree farm indefinitely. Is it the updated list, Blubbergum? Quartz, both obsidian types, and gravel are all on the list, Pog. Dude, that's nice. Maybe broken. And then, I think it's just like that. I'm looking for any spot where there could be a 2 gap. Yeah. And then you. Yes. Good. All right, this looks good. As far as I know, flint, soul sand, and a handful of other things were removed. I mean, the fact that there's even quartz, obsidian, and gravel on the list, all of those were non-renewable. You just had to explore more. Well, obsidian was renewable. You could build obsidian farming machines. They were, like I said, obnoxious. They were difficult, but they worked. Okay, so the first thing that we do, so we know that immediately under this block below us is that first hopper. We're not going to be able to see it. Okay, so then we just repeat this pattern. Rotate my image here. That way it makes a little bit more sense. You know, it just doesn't make any more sense. Okay. So then we need to do that same pattern that we just did on the bottom again. It might be a little bit easier to see because we basically just have to make every single granite block covered by a hopper. So there's the 5 that would go there. Okay, so let's do this one first. This one is just a straight shot all the way across. And then it's just full of a bunch that do this. Good day to you, sir. Hope you are well. How's it going, C. Rogers? I am very well. Thank you for the kind words. Just a little sleepy. We woke up late today. So from this point, I'm trying to remove bottlenecks here. In the event that this thing should ever back up or slow down or... So this one goes here, I believe. But then this one goes like this in order to remove the bottleneck. So we can see here that even though these are right next to each other, we're gonna have like this area all feed in through this hopper chain, and then all of like this area feed in through this hopper chain. Of course, the bottleneck still happens right here on this hopper, because this is when you have the two different sides of the pumpkin melon farm combining together into a single hopper that needs to get placed into a composter. But yeah, and just reducing the bottlenecks where we can. So what about this one? A lot of this just kind of builds itself whenever you have this spacing in. Like, some of it just must be certain ways. And there's nothing ever here in the middle. So I'm sure that right here... Yeah. Okay, I think that's it. Looks good to me. It's literally one hopper remains. I think that's it. Splat. We are out of polished granite. Might need to go caving. Also want some more... What is it, jack-o'-lanterns? I want some more jack-o'-lanterns so that way we can light that area up a little bit better. Oh. That was a lot of experience. Jack-o'-lanterns are in this one. Splat. Okay, so we're just gonna take this pillar of jack-o'-lanterns all the way up. I don't know how high it needs to go, but it, you know, it just goes up. I need something that fills in these center blocks here, but it doesn't need to be granite. It just needs to be a block. What am I? Oh, I'm stuck under a hopper? What? Okay. No, this is wrong. This is very bad. We start out by doing this, or else our world is going to be very noisy. And I know, chat room, you're gonna yell at me because I'm covering up the fancy sounding note blocks, and they were so fun, and it sounded so good. but you're lying to yourself. It sounded terrible. It was the worst thing in the world. It was disgusting. It was hideous. It was a terrible noise. You know it, I know it, we all know it. Okay, so this is how my brain works. Watching you, watching TV, watching vids on YouTube, all while playing Minecraft when it doesn't crash. And I can process it all, but when I'm doing nothing at all, my wife tells me something, I can't hear her. Oof. I mean, same. Whenever I'm playing and it's just me, like, I'll usually be playing, like, 2 or 3 games at the same time. So, like, Minecraft, like, RuneScape or something like that. That's the most AFK do-nothing game. And then I'll usually have a show on at the same time. So, like, I definitely get it, my dude. I want that jack-o'-lantern. I just stuck myself. Beautiful. No. Go, be gone, thought. Yeah, so that's the next layer. I just realized I don't have the seeds for this. I don't think we have the seeds anywhere for this. Admit you like making patterns. Organized structures make me feel good, yes. Seeds? I admit it. It's cocoa. I don't see any seeds. Maybe in the wood chest? No. That means that we're just gonna have to wait for the, splat. We're just gonna have to wait for the... Oh, God, no. But... I think our farm here is completely full of gunpowder. Not quite yet. It's close, though. Eyebrows, be quiet. Oh, I didn't need to teleport up here yet. We needed these first. All of the seeds. Oh, I'm so surprised it didn't trample anything. Okay, melons on the 5 stretches. And then pumpkins on the 4 stretches. Convenient. And then we need a series of observers and a bunch more building blocks. And iron golems can't spawn until this ring of netherrack. So we can build our melon pumpkin farm up to that height. I don't know if that means we get one more layer or not. It's either 2 layers or 3 layers. I don't know. Maybe we should have started from the top and worked down instead of the bottom and working up. So that way we could have had, like, a guaranteed 3 layers. Seems like it would have been smart, eh? I wonder if we can figure out that spacing real quick before we get any further. Okay, there's an observer facing up. This would face up into a solid block. So that's the top of this layer. Or that, yeah. So then the bottom of the next layer would be a hopper, which I don't have. So we're going to represent a hopper by a torch. So on top of the torch would be a... I don't even have any scaffolding. That's ridiculous. So this is the top of this layer, and there's hopper here, a thing there. Well, this is gonna be tight. So then the melon is here. We observe this melon upward. It looks like it looks like it's going to be literally perfect. We observe this melon upward into a solid block. And then we piston crush downward right next to it. This is technically a note block. And then piston underneath the note block. Right? So this observes up into a solid block. Then we have a row of hoppers. Then on top of the hoppers we have a dirt block, a melon stem, observer facing up into a solid block, into a note block, with a piston facing down. Yeah, wow. Accidentally perfect spacing. My internet dropped for a minute. What did I miss? I just asked you if you could get a list of the items that we could trade for now. Could you just, like, copy paste the wiki for me? I'm super curious. Seems like a lot of drops. Is our hopper minecart still? Okay, he's trucking. He's doing his best. Okay. I need more hoppers. I mean, nah, not yet. I do want some... of these. Where do we put all of our... scaffolding? I mean, there's a stack. And just this way I don't have to, like, ender pearl into it every single time. Candy Rabbit's redeem. Hydrate. Hydrate. Their story says Pokemon weren't meant to fight like this. It's a show based on insect fighting, chicken fighting, dog fighting, and it isn't meant to fight like... Yeah, I don't know. The whole concept of the show is like animal cruelty. Alright, so how did we do this last time that made it so easy? I think we just did it this way. Yeah, clearly the answer. I think we're gonna need to go to the Nether again soon, because we just do not have enough quartz to continue building like this. Each one of these things is like a quartz block. It's quite expensive. Okay, all of that looks good. And then what we do is we fly under here, and we place the pistons facing down. Yes. And then we'll do the same thing here. No! It's almost very bad. I did it twice. I think that's our entire floor done. And then we need to go, what? Polished granite on top of all of these guys. Oh no. Am I really out of polished granite? It's then no blocks on top of every piston back. Oh, what do we do? What I think I want to go caving for a minute, to be honest. The reason being, I really like having a dedicated block that represents redstone. It's just such a good thing to do. It's, you know how whenever you're building in your world and you come across like your builds kind of overlap or intersect with each other, and you're like, ooh, can I destroy this block? Is it gonna mess up the nearby build? Well, if you were to build the redstone components out of a very specific redstone block, in this world I'm using granite, then that fear is alleviated. You're just like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's 100% okay. Additionally, this gives us an excuse to go like looking for lit spot or dark spots in a cave, so that way we can get those lit up. Look for where monsters are spawning. See, there's a bunch of granite. I don't think this is gonna take too long. I want to search for granite at like, oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about this, chat room. Oh, my leg's falling asleep. A lot of people use colored wool as redstone wire circuits. Colored wool is really smart. The problem with colored wool is it's flammable, and therefore fire can destroy your redstone belts. Oh, my leg's asleep. I hate it so much. I forgot to tell you about this, chat room. I found a new resource packs. It's just out of vanilla tweaks, and ores have borders. So you remember how we constantly like cry, moan, and complain that you can't see the ore type that sticks above lava? I'm looking for any granite down here at this height. Well, because there's a border resource pack that would expose the ore, even as it just barely protrudes above the lava. See, I wanted to come down to this height to do it because we're at Y12 right now. Yeah, that's my preferred building height, or preferred strip mining height. And now we have the chance of exposing diamonds. That's a useful pack. It is so useful. So that question that I would always ask of, hey, I wonder how many diamonds the world has collectively missed because they can see them, but the diamond is literally just under the surface of the lava, so everyone just thinks that it's stone. Well, with a resource pack like this, you're like, nah, 100%, that's a diamond. I would love to find some lava to be able to, like, highlight or emphasize this point, you know? We're caving, not flying. We want more protection, not less. Y14's still a good spot to be digging. I would love to find an example so that way you guys could see what I'm talking about. And we have that gold in our inventory too, so even if none of the items next to the lava are an ore block, I could still artificially create the situation. You know what I mean? I don't want to go up any higher. I think we just continue like branch mining. Iron. Completely worthless now. I mean, I think I hear lava. So many, like, cave system overlaps here. It's like just below me. Maybe it's directly ahead of me. Oh, hey, what up? Okay, perfect. We can set up our example. All right, in here. Okay, so none of the blocks that are immediately under the surface of the lava are an ore block. Nothing that we can see, at least. Let's push this out and see if we can see anything. No, not seeing it. Okay, so I could set up the demonstration right here. This block right here is clearly stone. We know that it's stone. And okay, I was like, how did I get regular stone in me using a fortune axe? That doesn't make any sense. They also removed pork chops from the piglin trades. Interesting. Oh, you got Netherite hoe? They will give you a netherite hoe? Really? I'm behind on chat. Netherite hoe, warp nylium, splash potion of fire resistance, potion of fire resistance, quartz, glowstone dust, magma cream, ender pearl, string, nether brick, crying obsidian, regular obsidian, warped fungus, leather, gravel, fire charges, okay, and shroom light. The most important things out of that, I wonder if you can smelt down netherite into and get like a netherite nugget back, like an ancient debris back, similar to how you can break down like iron and gold things and get nuggets. I wonder if you could do the same thing for netherite and get an ancient debris. That would be cool. And then the netherite hoe would actually have value. Other than that, having a renewable way of getting potions of fire resistance would be kind of cool. But the quartz and obsidian are easily the best. The quartz is the best, without a doubt. Okay, so anyway, here's our demonstration. We don't know what this block is, but clearly it's stone because we can middle mouse select it. Now with this resource pack, I'd be able to clearly state, look at that, that's clearly gold. Clearly gold. Now without this resource pack, ore borders, done. I have no idea. It literally looks the exact same as the block next to it. Like, I have no indication that it's gold. But with the resource pack turned on, I now know that it's gold. And so think about how many diamonds have been missed because they've been just under the surface of the lava, but people didn't know that it was a diamond and therefore missed it completely. Dr. Elephant says, do you prefer hardcore or just normal survival? 100%. Actually, hang on. I'm a redstoner at heart, but the question that I have is, like, my hesitance to answer that question is that I'm a practical redstoner. I'm not gonna go out of my way to build like a 0-tick cactus farm. I'm not doing like RAM load state manipulations in order to spawn 1 billion iron golems an hour. Like, that's just not me. And I don't think that those are practical things for people to be building either. What I do and what I'm interested in is building practical Minecraft builds that can reasonably be built by like the everyman. And I feel like I'm giving you a sales pitch right now, but that's what I like. I legitimately, that's the way I enjoy playing the game. So whenever I play, I enjoy coming up with those builds. I enjoy like figuring out their intricacies and how to build them, and then how to build them practically, and then with this like practical approach to Minecraft, how do I like get the highest rates while still being as cheap as possible and as reasonable as possible for to be reasonably built in a Minecraft world, right? If a single build takes you 300 hours to make it, that's not a reasonable build. And like that's kind of my point. So I don't know, some sort of overlap between creative and survival. But the problem with regular survival is I am a redstoner. I build farms. I deal with infinities. We built the iron golem farm last night, and it gives you like 800 iron per hour. I never need to like iron. What is iron now? We don't care. It's absolutely worthless. Like, this iron is just a waste of coal in my mind now. So in order for certain things to have value, eventually gold's gonna go the same way. Like right now, this gold has value. But as soon as I build my gold farm in the nether, gold's gonna be absolutely worthless. And then it too will be a waste of coal. And then coal itself will eventually become worthless because we're going to have some combination of a wither farm in the nether, a tree farm, and a charcoal factory, etc., etc., etc. So I deal with these like ridiculous amounts of item supply. And because we have this item supply, it makes regular Minecraft, so regular survival, too easy. Death means nothing if as soon as you die, you come back alive and you immediately have your entire inventory of stuff back again. Even if what you died with was completely lost. I mean, I have dozens of books of mending back at home. I have like 50 books of Unbreaking 3. I have all of the I don't even build enchanting tables anymore because I just have so many enchanted books, and I haven't even done villager manipulation yet. And once I do villager manipulation, and once we have all of that, we're going to have access to all of the enchants at the absolute cheapest of prices. And so if I'm playing Minecraft, it needs to be hardcore at this point. It's the game because I build farms, the game becomes too easy. But I like building farms, so I actually like building in creative too. And I realize that is like the most long-winded way that I could have possibly answered your question, but I do feel like I answered your question thoroughly. Papa Dugan redeemed Hydrate. This has been my TED Talk. Thank you for tuning in. Hopped into a stream and a man jumped into lava. Wowza. We can go swimming in lava. No, we want this and this. See if I can do this. This is one of the hardest flights to pull off. I tried. No, it's so difficult to do it in these tiny spaces. Actually dies? Unlikely. So how's it going, chat room? This is my stream. Hang on, I want to be able to see at the very least. Oh hey, there's a moment in here where I can actually see what's under us. There's redstone down here. I don't see any diamond though. Y'all see any diamond? There's more redstone. We could go for longer. We have 2 totems of undying. I just don't feel like popping a totem of undying right now. And like, look at my hearts. This is actually hardcore. This isn't like pretend hardcore. It's not a clickbait title. We are actually in hardcore. And giving me anxiety. I'm sorry. What texture pack are you using? We were just talking about it. It's the Vanilla Tweaks resource pack. So this one is ore borders inside of that pack. And then I have a small bundle that I use from Vanilla Tweaks. It's largely the redstone pack that gives you hopper direction. It gives you observer directions. It gives you clean redstone dust power levels, stuff like that. Do we have the fortune pick out? Yeah, we do. I wonder, can I just do this? I have macros set up on my keyboard that push W and hold left click. So I'm just holding W, pushing left click. Oh, yes. I hear a zombie. I'll get you that link really quick. In here, this is how I built my resource packs. So it's a tool made by Exuma. And actually, I don't mind showing you guys this because Exuma did such a good job, or really whatever code or developer he worked with did such a good job. But this is what I did. You can just come in here. So I have peace and quiet. I have like quieter dispensers and droppers. I think I have quieter fire. I have some utility stuff, so clean redstone dust, redstone power level, sticky piston sides, directional hoppers, better observers. I have all of those turned on. I have unobtrusive. I have lower fire, so that way, you know, whenever I was swimming in that lava, the fire should take up like half of my screen. But it doesn't because I have the lower fire turned on. We don't have shields anymore because we offhand rock the Totem of Undying, but whenever we did have the shield, lower shields was a lifesaver. I would probably end up running unobtrusive scaffolding in the very near future. I do like the 3D tiles. I like 3D ladders, rails, reeds, iron bars. I think that all of these look really, really nice, but they do make your game lag sometimes. I like, you know, being honest. Pride Month is coming up, and I like to rock the Rainbow Experience bar for Pride Month. I recognize that I have a small platform, and we got to do our part chat room. Wither Hearts is really handy whenever you're fighting the Wither. Yeah, just some of these things in here are just really nice. Variation. There's some of the things I just don't play with, like all of this stuff. It's just aesthetic changes. But right here, ore borders, this is the one that I just turned on. And that allows me to see the ore if it's underneath lava. So, yeah, that's what I'm using. We gotta find that zombie. Grown for me again. Okay. He's in this line at about that height. That one sounds over here. Maybe there's multiples. Yeah, there it is. What up, dude? Very helpful, thanks. Yeah. Oh, look at this. It's right next to somewhere that we've already explored. This is awesome. This is exactly what I wanted to find. Areas like this are just eating the mob cap and stealing the rates from my darkroom mob spawner. I don't see anything of extreme value here. I mean, maybe around that corner. And see, like, I know that's coal. I know that's coal. That it's, God, so handy. This is a long freaking lava lake. And see, look at how low the fire is on my screen. Normally when you're on fire, it takes up like your entire screen and it's super obnoxious. So I like using those resource packs because it still preserves the vanilla feel of the game, but without it's just quality of life improvements, man. That's what I like. So I think that's the end of this side of the lava lake. Yeah. Just trying to see if it goes on any further. Nah. What texture pack are you using? It's just the resource pack. Yeah, that's it. They're not texture packs anymore. They're called resource packs, and that's the resource pack that I'm using. Complaining about being on fire because it's inconvenient. Well, it's not inconvenient if I have the lower fire turned on. I do have to say that Protection 16 and a Totem of Undying is making me unnecessarily brave. I wonder if it's gonna come back to haunt me, chat room. Oh, I saw that little bit of stone right there, and I was like, this continues around the corner. It did not. Oh. Haha! Oh, but then this is literally it. Anything? Does it keep going? I don't think so. I think this is the end. I found the prodigal son again. Wait, what do you mean? Nims from Nims Toots? Yeah, that's me. It's amazing that that's how you remember me. Selena, Candy Rabbits, can we have like a Nims Toots emote? Candy Rabbits is my girlfriend. And she's also a very talented graphic designer, artist, and illustrator. And she's the one that did that. She did the Nims TV Phoenix emote and the party emote. Yeah, you guys beat me to it. Like, look at those. Those are so cute. Can we have one that looks like a little Nims fart cloud? Yeah, you got it. Would it be like Nims with a fart cloud coming off of it? Yeah. For Nims Toots. 100%. I remember the Skyblock. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. I was just looking at chat room. Yeah, the Skyblock series was so much fun. I kind of like Skyblock. We talked about this the other day on stream, and then a little bit more in Discord. Skyblock is really cool because it changes the way that you look at Minecraft. Like, most of the resources that you have available to you in Skyblock, rephrase, you have most of the resources in Minecraft available to you in Skyblock. The difference is you have to obtain those resources in a very different way. Let's see, fortune pickaxe. Is that just one? My dude, you couldn't have done any better for with just one again. Two. Wow, we got one extra diamond from our fortune 3 pickaxe. That was so sad. Are we just gonna ignore the diamond? I didn't even see them at first, TBH. I was just reading chat room. I was talking to you guys. Dude called me the prodigal son. I was so flattered, I wasn't even paying attention. Nah, I'm done. This is probably just going to intersect with that lava lake in a minute. The Satanist cookies, those are made by Eyebrows, one of our mods, way back in the day. There's a story. Okay, I'm done. It's gravel. There's a story behind those cookies, though. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's because you made them, Flame Wheel. I'm glad to. Well, thank you, Bradley's Gaming. I appreciate the kind words, man. Oh. Spider. Okay. Spider is in this line. And he's now moved. And he's roughly above us. Look at my echolocation skills. This is a completely undiscovered cave. I hate bats so much. Oh, yes. Dude, this is a giant undiscovered cave. I didn't bring wood. And we actually have a large undiscovered cave that I believe is underneath my base. And I can't light it up. And given the relative density of mobs here, I'm going to say that we're still pretty close to... Okay, I think I know how to get back here. We might be able to scavenge some of these 3 torches. What texture pack am I running? Vanilla Tweaks. Man, look at this. I laugh because we've answered that question like 4 times this stream. Yeah, that's as far as we get. It's just the Vanilla Tweaks resource pack with the ore borders turned on. It's still vanilla everything. It just makes it easier to see the ores whenever they're under lava. Okay, that's the end of this. So how do we denote that we get back in here? I'm gonna put the iron ore in front of it. It's not that bad, actually. But it kind of goes to emphasize how, I need to get some stairs here. It kind of goes to emphasize how close that cave was. I need not to throw my diamond chest on the ground. Got a little bit more in the way of polished granite, which is quite handy. This is our redstone block. Don't need you. Put the redstone in there. More redstone. Stone blocks go in this one. Not gravel, though. Blast furnace, the gold ore. Oh, that's charcoal. Right, so we just need to cut down like a tree real quick. I love that you just swim right through. I mean, Protection 16 kind of trivializes a lot of quite a lot in this game. And, like, it's only going to get more ridiculous whenever Netherite armor comes out. Because the damage threshold on Netherite armor is going to be even higher. So you're just not going to take damage from even more things. I like it. It makes the ore stand out. Yeah, I do too. Maybe it makes the ore stand out a little too much in my mind. I just want some sort of indication that, like, the ore below lava is ore. Like, I want to be able to see it. My dude. It's not very nice. I just wanted to be able to see the ore underneath lava. That's all I was going for. But, you know, it worked out. Okay, let's get back in there and light up that cave. I don't know if that was any faster than it would have otherwise been. Oh! Oh! One heart, chat room. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Maybe we don't try to swim through lava without Protection 16, and maybe we don't blast our way through a tunnel with Elytra on and face plant into the side of a wall. We did almost pop a totem, but we didn't. Good times, good times. Okay. That was crazy. Another cave found and lit. Whoa. I mean, we're getting the dispenser failed noise. What do we have in our base that spams failing dispensers? This is just about as dangerous as it comes. I don't know where that hole was. I mean, yeah, that's all fine. This is a little lava lake. I think it was right here. Yeah. Nice. I just don't care about it. I want to take a listen and see if we can hear any other mobs around here. Candy redeems, hydrate. And see you later, Padawan. Take care, man. You think I need some more wolves? I think not. What is this? Like Discord sent me a weird notification. That was strange. A bat screeching is also indicative of another cave nearby. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. I was just thinking that. Okay. Where's this bat? Okay, so he's like right here. Damn, look at that echolocation. And this is just another. Ooh! 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 Very nice. There's some lava around here too. Oh, is it just gonna be a little tour? I think it's just a cute little tour. Yeah, nothing. Nothing. Cute little tour. I do have fortune. Yeah, I do have fortune out. Gave us 3 diamonds. Needs to tame some more cats. Maybe. Cats are only useful to keep creepers away from your sensitive builds. But, like, we don't have a creeper problem. It has been a very long while since I've had, like, a creeper explode anywhere on the surface near me. I want to see if it connects to something else, but I think we just found the end. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Neat. Another little cave. 3 more diamonds. I'm happy. I don't care about that. I used to watch you on YouTube, seen Nims TV live in my recommended. Thought, no way. I think he quit. Sat and listened. Thought that's him, but wasn't so sure. I had to ask. 100% that's me. How can I prove myself to you? How can I prove that I am the one? Look at us just going, chat room. I wish that I could, like, rock a torch in my offhand or something. Ooh, what's this? Have I been here? Oh, 100%. That pathing there looks just like me. Oh yeah, this is that lava lake that we found earlier. That, like, I went swimming in. Okay. Blah, blah. We don't need that. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And this is where girlfriend then yells at me. Candy Rabbits yells at me. And actually all of chat room does too, because they're like, he thought you quit. This means you need to post more content on YouTube. And then everyone starts yelling at me collectively. And it's like, you're not wrong. Exclamation mark YouTube. Yeah. Do redstone. Have you seen our build? Like, how long have you been watching, Bradley? Just show them your farms. They speak for themselves. That is kind of true. Oh, hey. Okay, cool. More YouTube. Yeah. I deserve it. I deserve it. Probably gonna clip into that lava lake again. Do we need gold? Since I first commented, about 15 minutes. Okay, so you've only seen this world caving then. You haven't seen, like, our stuff in it yet. Yeah. Need to make sure it's all well lit enough. 1, 2, 3. You could have just used the real NIMS tutorials. Wait, what? It's great to have found you again. Oh. Old school T flip-flop? Yeah, the hopper flip-flop, man. I had that day one. Day one. I've contributed 2 things to, like, the Redstone community that came, like, the de facto go-to. One of them was the 1.7.2 fishing farm. That was the fishing farm that everybody used for, you know, until water mechanics and fishing farms changed. What was it? Trapdoors. Iron trapdoors changed and no longer overrode the right-click function. And so fishing farms changed. But until that happened, my fishing farm was the go-to fishing farm. And then day one that hoppers came out, I figured out hopper flip-floppers. Everything else is just kind of run-of-the-mill redstone, I think. Nothing special, nothing to write home about. Go to the surface and flex your build with the noob. Alright, I think that we are just colliding with the same cave systems over and over again. So yeah, I think so. Did I get... Let's get like a stack or 2 more of granite as our redstone building block. Let me get a little bit more granite, and I will. I still use the charcoal farm and the hopper flop. The charcoal factory was really cool. We talk about building one of those all the time. I think I actually do need to build one of those because I keep manually converting all of my wood into charcoal, and I'm like, dude, there's a build that takes 30 seconds, and it does all of this automatically. But then I'm just too lazy to ever build it. Yeah, we can just head home. I didn't want to go home until those items despawned. Blech. Gross. Everything's kind of okay. What is a hopper flip-flop? So T flip-flops are a thing that you can provide a single redstone signal to, and it will change its state. So it's, think a light switch, or a lever. A lever is just a single item T flip-flop, right? But the lever needs the player to control it. So you need some sort of memory. You need to have, imagine a lever that you can change, imagine a lever that you can change the state of the lever by providing a redstone signal to it. And that's a T flip-flop, okay? A hopper flip-flop just uses a series of hoppers to do that. I want this guy's trident. I've never had a trident before. Ever, ever, ever. Well, he gave us a gold bar. They're sometimes called memory latches as well. but it's all pretty much the same thing. Yeah, it's 1 bit of memory. Yeah. So, I don't think I have hoppers in here ready to go. Put up all of my garbage. Nope, that's our redstone block. Looks clean. Okay, so show him the world. Show him the world. Okay, we already have Elytra equipped. So all of this is hardcore, 100% legit. Let's just crash land on this tree. Oh, I bounced off of it. Didn't really expect to bounce off the tree. Excuse me. So, I guess let's start with the first thing that you would probably recognize. That should look super familiar to you. This, like, giant structure at the top with 2 legs down the entire side. That's our darkroom mob spawner. We've been using the same darkroom mob spawner for frickin', I don't know, since flying machines were discovered. I use your charcoal farm to smelt the cobble that I use in the cobblestone generator from Chocobo that built one for another YouTuber, then built a huge bunny rabbit around it. Wow. If I were to be playing hardcore, I would immediately be making a wall so I could be safe. I mean, the first thing I would build is a fishing farm. And then I would fish up Protection 16. I would fish up the God tier bow, Power 5 and Breaking 3, Punch 2, Infinity Flame. Really, dudes? You had to do me like that? I was sitting here trying to show my world. Okay. Standing on a villager breeder. I wonder what gave him that indication, chat room. I wonder what gave him that indication. Is it a villager? I don't know. Maybe. It's a little obnoxious sometimes. We recently set up our iron golem farm, which is what the rail was for. We were pulling villagers out of here one at a time. You understand. So anyway. See if I can land a little gentler here. Blip. Cool. So this is our darkroom mob spawner. We've been using this darkroom mob spawner for since 2016, right? The darkroom mob spawner is wonderful because it ruins other mob farms. Like, witch farms don't need them. This darkroom mob spawner can handle witches. Spider farms don't need them. This mob, specifically, this one does spiders and endermen. There's one farm is doing spiders and endermen in addition to all of the regular two-tone mobs, skeletons, zombies, creepers, witches, etc, etc, etc. So we then take the drops of this darkroom mob farm and we collect them with a hopper minecart. Doing his best. He's empty right now, but that's because there were no mobs spawning because we were too far away. Collects all the items, runs the items over a series of hoppers. We do need to update this at some point. We probably want to put a drop-off station in here. This is very brute force redstone right now. This can be a lot cleaner, a lot more elegant. We then run those items into a series of droppers. The droppers shoots them up a bubble vader. The bubble vader, here, let's just go ahead and sleep. We're at the bubble vader step. Villager, a breeder, dark pit of hell, same thing. It is the same thing. Okay. So we go up the bubble vader, right here, and then through a series of hoppers. These are all filters. I'm sure you recognize those. So through a series of filters, and if it never is collected by a filter, then we have a netherrack fire here at the end. The items that we are... my voice keeps cutting out. No! The items that we are trying to collect out of this, and obviously there's a lot more items that are dropped by darkroom mob spawners, but we're really only interested in these 9. So the 3 dusts, gunpowder because it makes rockets, glowstone for pretty obvious reasons, redstones for even the most obvious reasons, rotten flesh, one for villager trading, and a second reason that we'll come back to in a moment. Ender pearls, it's ender pearls. Glass bottles, because we're going to be setting up a honey farm in a little bit. Also potions. Sticks, because sticks are used in like every freaking recipe that's ever been made since the beginning of Minecraft. String, because you can sell them to villagers. They turn into wool. Wool sells to villagers. You can also turn them into colored wool. You can also... See, a bunch of endermen just died. I don't know on which side. I don't think it was this side. Well, if they dropped anything, it had already been collected. Anyway, it's all pretty obvious. Darkroom mob spawner. Cool. That should look super familiar. Let's see. What do we do next? Just thinking about the best way of doing this. Okay, this room looks busy, but it's not, I swear. It's just because we built it right at the beginning of this world before we had access to, like, pretty blocks. So this is... I guess we should show the first and most important thing. The reason why everything is built right here. We found a surface skeleton spawner. This is just, we're at Y59. The surface of the world is like right here. This was, boom, surface skeleton spawner. Insane. The nuts. So good. So, we take the... And I do have a tutorial for this up on YouTube. We take all of the skeletons that would spawn inside of this skeleton spawner, drop them into a series of water currents, which then puts them into a... Could you stop? Puts them into a little one-wide trench. The one-wide trench leads up into a bubble vader. So the bubble vader right here carries the skeletons all the way to the top. Then a series of water streams pushes the skeletons all the way over. And then the skeletons drop down a very precise height, a very precise fall, and there's that skeleton, which leaves them at exactly 1 HP. We have a bunch of player-controlled wolves here, and because the wolves are owned by the player, when they attack the skeletons drop experience. Because they drop experience, it then enables a bunch of infinity farms that you wouldn't be able to build otherwise. As an example, with just like I don't have to refill this thing. This is a cobblestone generator. We'll use fortune here. Boom, I just walk up to it and it works. The experience that's being provided to me by the skeleton grinder is enough to keep the durability on my pickaxe capped out while I mine at my cobblestone generator. I could do the same thing with something like a pumpkin carver. Normally, getting jack-o'-lanterns in bulk is kind of a big main hand shears, offhand pumpkins. Getting jack-o'-lanterns in bulk is kind of obnoxious. Well, carved pumpkins, but here we go. I just get to sit here, totally AFK. The experience from the skeleton grinder is repairing my mending shears, mending unbreaking shears, and then I'm holding right click, and then by holding right click, I place down the pumpkin, then my shear the pumpkin, and then the piston destroys the pumpkin because we have like a detection system built in. All of this is possible thanks to the experience that's being given to us by the experience grinder, by the skeleton grinder. We also have a mini nether wart farm. This cobblestone generator also doubles as a concrete converter. It also doubles as a flint farm, converting gravel into flint. We also have built a nano farm right here. We've also got a fishing farm right here. And this wall right here is going to be dedicated to a tree farm, which is kind of what we're working on next. So we have 8 different AFK stations inside of this one room that are all within the experience tracking distance, meaning the experience will track its way over to the player, which is all enabled by the skeleton spawner underground right here. Because we are now setting ourselves up to AFK in this room for hours on hours on hours. This is, we have designed this room to be the room that we AFK in. we're then designing the rest of our world to be active while we are AFK inside this room. So the dark room spawner, the dark room mob farm, well, it's at a very precise distance that it's within range of the player for mobs to be spawning in it. So while we're AFK in that room, we are also grinding mobs out of our dark room mob farm. At the same time we're doing that, we've also started building a melon farm right here, which has 2 layers done, I think. Something like that. A melon pumpkin farm right here. And at the end of last stream, we just set up an iron golem farm, which is working phenomenally. Is this by world spawn? World spawn is, oops, a little bit this way. Basically right on the other side of this hill biome. And there it is. There's world spawn. That little hut that we've got here, somewhere in this area is spawn chunks. Somewhere here is spawn chunks. So we're just, you know, 4 or 5 chunks away from, maybe a little further than that. Maybe like 10 to 15 chunks away from world spawn. And this is where we started the world. And this was, we built a fishing farm in here. And this is our original, oh, hey, I'll take that water bottle. This is our original everything. This was the first thing that we built. So, like, literally, day 1, hour 0, first thing we built was a fishing farm. And then we went exploring. We ended up finding that surface skeleton spawner and built this. So then the next thing that we built was very similar. We built this little hut, which was also just a fishing farm hut. And then while we basically would AFK there overnight while we were getting this area set up. And then the world has just grown from there. This looks and feels like a factory. I mean, that's kind of how I like to play Minecraft, so. Put our unbreaking mending shears up. We don't need those anymore. So I do need to continue to go caving in order to light up more area. Our darkroom mob spawner is still relatively slow. I just need to light up more caves. So, yeah, that's kind of the world tour. We also have over here just a small sugarcane farm. You know, just to give us the paper that we need for the rockets. We also set up a small bamboo farm, but it turns out bamboo farms are kind of ridiculous because within a day of this running, we capped out a double chest. So it's done. This is our first pumpkin farm. We used the pumpkin farm to trade to Cheryl and Daryl, our villagers. So over in the villager breeder, we have, this is Cheryl right here. She's our farmer. She's wonderful. What up, Cheryl? Can I trade with you, please? So she has a 1 pumpkin for 1 emerald trade. So we were like, yeah, we want to take advantage of that. And so we built a small pumpkin farm and have been exploiting Cheryl ever since. Whenever we went to fight the Ender Dragon, we would use all of our emeralds to buy golden carrots. Actually, I think we're ready to build more. So that's kind of the world tour. I mean, those are clearly just some temporary farms. Actually, now that we have the pumpkin melon farm set up, we don't really even need that pumpkin farm anymore. I do need to set up some sort of storage system and filter off of the pumpkin farm. So I have some pumpkins that I store for myself, but then the rest of the pumpkins and the rest of the melons, I want to convert into bone meal and then use the bone meal to fuel my tree farm. And the tree farm that we're going to be making is my own design as well. This is like, actually, look at this. I was already AFK at it. This is like my magnum opus, man. This is my everything. So let's start ourselves with like 8 saplings, right? We're starting with 8. All it needs is saplings and bone meal, but we still have plenty of bone meal. Imagine that instead of putting your bone meal in this chest, it's just supplied to you automatically by a pumpkin or melon farm, composted into bone meal. Cool. So our axe is a Mending Unbreaking 3 Efficiency 5 axe, and we have 8 bone meal. We're using the experience from the skeleton grinder it's inside of this large quartz cube to supply us with experience, and then we step inside here, we jump up on this block, we get a very precise aim, we hold right click, we hold left click, and I walk away from my computer. And it just works! It just works! That is a tree form! No TNT duping, no weird manipulation, no broken mechanics. It's just a tree farm, chat room. And it should work for almost forever. Like, well, the tree farm works for forever. The only thing that puts a duration, a time limit on how long we can AFK is the difficulty of the game you play in. So, skeletons have, when they spawn, skeletons have a chance to have armor. That armor has a chance to be enchanted. That enchant has a chance to be thorns, and thorns has a chance to do damage to wolves. All of those chances are directly controlled by the difficulty you're playing on. The easier your difficulty, the longer your wolves will live. On a long enough time scale, all of the wolves will eventually die to thorns from the skeletons. But while the wolves are alive, it just works. And this is the next thing. This is the next thing that we want to build. And this is like my magnum opus. This is why stripped logs. It's a unfortunate side effect. This used to work. This was originally designed in like 1.12, something like that. Before axes had the right-click function to strip logs. Well, we need to have our right-click on, so that way we can plant the saplings that are in our offhand, which has the side effect of stripping the logs. Now, if you don't want stripped logs, hey, I've got you covered. So we're just gonna put that back in here. We're gonna put our saplings here. We're gonna put this into hand mode. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Now, admittedly, this is gonna work a lot slower. Aim at the precise precision. And then we're just gonna punch down the tree with our hand. And now we get regular logs. And because we're in hand mode, the timings are changed to ensure the player has enough time to punch down this tree. Breaks, turns back on. And this is, so admittedly, it's much slower, but there's no way, without TNT duping, there's no way to get non-stripped logs without TNT duping. Does holding an efficiency 5 book speed up hitting? That would be so cool. Would it be possible to use a witch to heal the wolves? Yes, it would, but the problem with using a witch to heal the wolves is, while it fixes one problem, it introduces about half a dozen new ones. I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Efficiency only applies when you have an effective tool, so only an axe for wood. The space, like the size of building a witch spamming healing potions would totally defeat the purpose of the experience being fed to the player. Rephrase. It would defeat the purpose of the AFK room.
you would still be able to build a skeleton grinder into a tree farm, but that would be it. In our current hardcore world, and I can jump to this. So this is my magnum opus, and notice how it keeps giving us saplings. Everything, it'll work for forever as long as our wolves are alive. Which, like, the mean time between wolf... Oh, I didn't mean to exit Minecraft habits. The mean time to wolf death in, like, the hardest difficulty, with the hardest local difficulty, is like 12 hours, which is more than enough for an overnight AFK session. Which leads me back into the point I was making earlier about the Darkroom mob farm, and collecting the rotten flesh out of the Darkroom mob farm. We use the rotten flesh. Just 4 should be more than enough to show this point. We use the rotten flesh to heal the wolves, and we get an idea of, actually all of our wolves are at full health. I can tell because wolf tails show how much health the wolf has, so the lower the tail, the less health it has. And because all of the wolf tails are above the slabs that I have placed next to them, it tells me that all of the wolves are at full health. I'm just gonna throw those on the floor. There's hopper minecarts underneath to collect the drops from the skeletons, so it'll just collect and process the rotten flesh for me too. I wonder if there's a way to disable the stripping function on axes. That'd be pretty freaking cool, man. Where do we put... Ah. I'm still learning scaffolding. I'm not that great at it yet. No. So I think that's another layer done. What's your seed? I got you. Would it be possible to use tridents to replace dogs so they don't die? Sadly, that only works on Java. The crushing of... whatchamacallits, I need more hoppers. Do you have... I only need... Where are you at? He does have packed ice. I'll take that packed ice. We need hoppers. And I also want that dude's packed ice. I haven't found an ice biome yet. We could just go and build on top of a... Okay, now you die. I haven't found an ice biome yet, and I know that I could just build on top of, like, right there we have extreme hills, but I just haven't gotten around to making an ice farm yet. It's on my to-do list. So we need hoppers, that's where we were at. Yeah, give me that trident, bud. I mean, nothing but rotten flesh. am sad. Why is he invisible? Oh, because it's nighttime. Okay, so the same thing. We need to do the same thing here. Nope, I didn't finish my hoppers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be more than enough. And like, look at this iron golem farm, man. It's actually insane. Did you come up with this yourself? Yeah, everything that you see in my world is mine. The tree farm's mine. I'm trying to think if what we have in this world that's not directly made by me. I think we have an item splitter over here that like perfectly splits items. Yeah, this little item splitter right here, that's not mine. I think that's El Mango's. Village Breeder is mine. Darkroom Mob Farm is mine. I mean, item filters are kind of no one's anymore. Fishing Farm is my design. Pumpkin Carver is my design. Netherwart Farm is my design. Cobblestone, Concrete Converter, Gravel Converter is mine. Nano Farm is mine. Tree Farm is mine. Skeleton Grinder is mine. And most of the tutorials for this stuff can be found on YouTube. The Pumpkin Melon Farm is... I think it was either Il Mango or Rayworks that came up with the base design, but he had some significant problems, specifically with how he laid out his hoppers. So I would say that this one is like half mine and half... I can't remember if it's Il Mango or Rayworks, but I would say that this one's like half mine. And then the Iron Golem Farm is... This is another one that I would say is half mine, half someone else's. They had a base design, but their base design had some significant flaws in it. Villagers didn't like going into their beds. The spawning areas weren't very clean. The line of sight wasn't very clean. I cleaned up all the line of sight. I cleaned up the Iron Golem spawning. I cleaned up everything about it. But the core mechanic was, and I can't remember that guy's name. He's a really small... I wouldn't even say he's a YouTuber. He's just like a Minecraft enthusiast that posted a YouTube video. He had like 100 subs or something like that. You know, I'm not going to be that guy that's like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to just take credit for his design. So that's, to the best of my knowledge, I would say that half of the melon farm is mine, half of the Iron Golem farm is mine, and then the item splitter is completely somebody else's. But everything else is my design. Don't tell me coordinates, Repo. You're gonna make me regret giving you the seed. I need to look up the layout of the hoppers here. App data, roaming, Minecraft, screenshots. And this is the layout that I'm using for the hoppers. So I'm just referencing that. Put that on my other monitor so I can see what I'm doing. Zoom in a little bit because it's a very wide screenshot. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Goes like that. Let's see. Okay, so into this one, it just goes all the way across. You still upload on YouTube? In my mind, I do. But in reality, I've been very bad about uploading to YouTube. So, I need to do better. I need to do better. I know... Let's see. This one goes there. Then we go like this. So, like, it's been months since I've uploaded to YouTube, and like I'll own that. My voice is going out on me. It's been months since I've uploaded to YouTube. I know, and like I need to do better about that. I don't know. I'm just having some sort of disconnect. Like I just don't feel it the same anymore. I think that I'm being, I don't know, maybe I'm getting like jaded, or maybe I'm frustrated with the Minecraft community, if I'm being honest. There's a lot of like lying and misinformation that happens in the Minecraft community, and it's very frustrating. So as someone just asked me, this is a great example. As someone just asked me, did I come up with all of this? I was very honest and forthright with what I came up with and what I did not. There are a lot of people that will just copy somebody else's design and claim it as their own. And like, that's a really shitty way to like approach a community. It's, I mean, terrible. But it happens, and it happens all the time. This one might get built differently. There's also stuff where, and I'm sure you guys have seen this before, somebody will put in their title, smallest, most compact, most efficient, best. And it's like, and it's a design that breaks in 30 minutes, right? And this isn't just small YouTubers doing this. This villager breeder over here uses some well-known mechanics. My voice, dude, is just, I'm losing it. We're just gonna have to power through. The villager breeder uses some well-known mechanics. Because it uses some well-known mechanics, it's like convergent evolution. It does look very similar to another design out there. But the other dude's design, yo, I don't even care anymore. It's freaking Impulse SV has a design that looks very similar to this. Yo, chat room, I'm gonna be honest. You use Impulse SV's villager breeder design in a biome where it can rain, and it's gonna break. It will break. Additionally, Impulse SV's design will soft break for hours on hours and on hours. And in his video, dude claims that it gets 12 villagers bred per hour. That's not even close to true. And Impulse is a well-known and well-respected member of the Minecraft community. 12 villagers per hour assumes that villagers have a cooldown of 5 minutes before they can be bred again. Do you know how often a 5-minute window happens in an hour? 12 times. Which means that your villagers, with all of their random villager AI and random villager mechanics, are still managing to breed exactly on the 12-minute mark, or excuse me, on the 5-minute mark to get 12 villagers per hour. There's no way in hell that ever happens. Hercrab redeemed Hydrate, you're wonderful. I love you. Thank you, Hercrab. Cheers. There's no way in hell it ever happens. It's an outright fabrication. It just doesn't work like that. Okay, this one goes here. It just doesn't work like that. I'm out of hoppers. I need like 5 more. And to have such a, I mean, this guy's on Hermitcraft. He's relatively well known. And to have him just make an outright fabrication like that is so beyond infuriating to me, because he's effectively an expert in this relative field, and he's lying to you. And like, that bothers me so much. I mean, right now, so to put this in like other terms, right? Imagine you go to the doctor and the doctor tells you, oh, hey, cancer's not anything to be worried about. Like, you just have, stage 4 cancer. Don't worry about it, my dude. And like, because he's a doctor, you believe his expertise, which you should. No one in this world can be an expert at everything. It's just not the way the world works. We rely on the experience of experts to guide us. Everyone does this. Every time you get into a car, you are trusting the experts that made that car and then the experts that put all the safety regulations in that car with your life. Every time that you go to the doctor, you are trusting that the doctor's expertise to properly diagnose and care for your health. You are trusting an expert. Obviously, this is a little bit straw manning here. This is a video game, and experts of a video game is not comparable to the experts that literally keep our society alive. Obviously, these are of different scales, but it just goes to emphasize the point that he is an expert in his relative field, and he is propagating misinformation. That is extremely frustrating to me, and it disconnects me from that Minecraft community. I don't want to be a part of it because it's lying. And so some people will outright steal designs. Some people will claim that their designs are something that they're not. And it frustrates me. It frustrates me beyond belief. And it breaks my heart and crushes my spirit. No, don't bounce off. Okay. So again, this has been my rant. Thank you for tuning in to my I've been standing on a soapbox here. Thanks for tuning into my soapbox. This has been my time. And we all know this. We all know this. And we're all so desensitized to it that I think it's sad. Whenever you're scrolling through YouTube now and you see somebody who puts like best in the title of their newest tutorial video, you're like, and you don't even have to think this, you just know that farm's not actually the best. You're so desensitized to that form of advertising that it doesn't work anymore. And that's a good thing that it's now like it doesn't work anymore, but it's also a sad thing that it's happened so much that it doesn't, that like you're ruined. Like that part of the game, being excited for something, it just doesn't happen for you the same way anymore. And like I think that's also a very sad thing. It just bothers me. It bothers me to no end. Repo, dude. I'm. This is officially a warning, my man. Don't spam chat. Don't spoil games. AK Nation, warning. Could be that some people have lacking understanding of mechanics. I mean, I have no idea of how villagers work. And see, that's perfectly A-okay. If you have no idea of how the mechanics work, then I think that's fine. But you're also not presenting yourself as an expert in this relative field. It is very reasonable for me to say, hey, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what this sickness or illness means. I could make a guess at like, oh, hey, you're having pain in your stomach. Maybe you have food poisoning. Maybe you have appendicitis. But then I recognize that I'm not a doctor and I would say as much. But I don't know. You should go and talk to your doctor about that pain. But then if I say, oh, you just have, you're just bloated because you have gas, and it turns out that you did have appendicitis, and now you have a life-threatening condition because you believed me, an anti-vaxxer, that... So that's the problem. Is it's presenting as an expert is the issue. Not knowing and not having all of the information is totally fine. There is so much information, there are so many things in this world to know, and like we get 80 years. We get 80 years of good, usually good years. There's no way that you could know everything from quantum physics to like biomechanics to electrical engineering to being there's no way. No one can know all the things. So we rely on the people around us. And when the people around us lie and misrepresent information, it breaks my heart. It crushes my spirit, and it makes me a sad panda. A sad phoenix, if you would. Nim's anti-vax confirmed 100%. You best believe it. I mean, but like the same feeling that people get towards anti-vaxxers, I would say that that's probably comparable to the feeling I get towards like YouTube misinformation trolls. I don't know. YouTubers. I need to replant those saplings. I probably get a similar feeling to that. And my emotional response here is likely overblown. I recognize that. It doesn't affect people that much. Like, if somebody puts best in their title, but you can quantify and you can empirically prove that it's not the best, well, but it works. Is it good enough? Well, then, like, the person that's following this guide, the person that's following this tutorial, their quality of life is not directly changed because somebody put a bunch of clickbait in their title, right? So my emotional response here is likely overblown. That person who doesn't know that it's clickbait, the person that isn't aware of the inner workings of like the Minecraft community, their quality of life is going to be basically the same thing. So, I mean, I need to chill, but at the same time, that's also why I'm struggling with YouTube, which was the original question. Okay, all of this here at the top, I want to leave that actually. He's not actually, no, I'm not actually anti-vax. Oh my god, please vaccinate, chat room. 100% vaccinate. Trust your doctors. Okay, that looks good. From this point, we need all of our melons and pumpkin seeds. Okay, I think it's time to convert this back over into a composter. Because this is a little ridiculous. IMO, the best way to rid the world of all disease like AIDS is to just gather them all up and light them on fire. I'm kidding, of course. That's a very crass joke. And maybe an antiquated joke that maybe doesn't need to be made anymore. Okay, so we've got that layer done. I don't need these seeds anymore. These farms would end world hunger in Minecraft. They would, and it would be glorious. Okay, I need... There might be a command, but do you have a stream schedule? Every day, starting at 2 p.m. Central, and then kind of goes until when I either get hungry and need to stop to eat, or until like we have plans. So every weekday at 2 o'clock. If we do a stream on the weekends, it's a bonus stream, and it's kind of like an anything goes stream. But yeah, so we'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central as well. Nims, you a film major? I never went to college. That's not entirely true. I went to college for 1 semester. How do I describe this? My father made good money, so I had to. I don't know how to describe this. Basically, I went to 1 semester of college. My dad wanted me to go for 1 degree. I didn't want to go for that degree. And I quickly, even just going through the gen eds, it was so boring to me. I ended up sleeping through all of my classes, still acing all of the tests. So then I just stopped going to class, and then because I didn't even go to class, and so I ended up dropping out of college. It just wasn't for me. And like again, it was a combination of like I had this disconnect with my dad of what degree I should go for. So I was already like, I don't know, feeling disenfranchised by college. And then I found it too easy. And so then I slept, which was not a good idea. Don't do that, chat room. And then even though I was sleeping through class, I was still just fine. Like I was still doing very well. But then because I didn't care to do well, and this is youth here, you know. I was 18 at the time. I'm 29 now. Because I was still doing well, because I didn't care, because I ended up just stopping going to class altogether and then dropped out. I need more comparators. So yeah, I went to college for a semester, but not even. If I had to do it again, I don't know. I don't know if I could have done that any different, if I could have done college any different, because it turns out that the reason that I couldn't like go to college for my own stuff isn't because my parents made too much money. I found out in hindsight that I had inherited, it was like $12,000 from my great grandmother, who my stepdad hidden from me and took. Even after my 18th birthday, my stepfather, who was never a legal guardian because my biological father is still alive and had split custody, my stepfather ended up taking that inheritance and hiding it from me in a secret bank account that I never knew about, which is why I couldn't get approved for any loans. I couldn't do anything. So I don't know, like as a youth being angry at the world and dropping out of college in such a I don't know, destructive way might be the best way to put that. I still don't know if I could have done any different because I couldn't apply for loans. I couldn't have done anything on my own terms regardless because of stepdad taking that. So, would you go back? I've thought about it. We think about it a lot. What am I missing here? It's cobblestone. If I could do it all again, there's no change that I could make. Because in hindsight, I recognized that, like, it was angry youth that made me not go to college in the first place. It was college was too easy. It was being frustrated at my parents. It was being frustrated in the school system. It was not getting to explore the things that I was interested in. I was an angry youth. So, like, I dropped out for those reasons. In hindsight, there's nothing I could have done differently because even if I wanted to go to college, I would have been forced to go to college for something I had no interest in, something that I didn't care about, and I would have likely ended up changing my majors like a dozen times, would have blown through that inheritance. It was only $12,000. That's like a semester at a cheap community college, maybe. So I would have blown through that super quick, been saddled with a ridiculous amount of debt. So I don't know. What are we missing? We finally ran out of quartz. Well, let's hope that was enough. So I don't know. If now, maybe... But now I'm feeling like the opposite end of that spectrum. Like I'm 29. I will be 30 in a couple of months. I now know the things that I'm good at. I now know the things, you know, with age comes that sort of knowledge, that experience. I have an understanding of who I am, the things that I am proficient in, and the things that I fail at. I now have that knowledge. The things that I'm good at and the things that give me joy, there is some overlap, but I don't know if I would be good at it. Honestly, ball busting people, man. If I could do something where you heard me go on that rant, right, of like effectively yelling at other YouTubers for being shitty and misinforming consumers. Dude, if I could just go on rants like that all the time as my full-time job, just being like, hey, nope, you're being an asshole. Like, you are misinforming consumers. And then I just get to take whatever shitty company is doing the shitty thing to court and just like destroy them for grossly misinforming consumers. Oh my God, I would enjoy that so much. But I don't know if that's the thing I'm good at. The thing I'm good at is like, I probably should have been some sort of engineer. I'm very good at like visualizing in my head how things work and how things come together. Like that stereotype, that trope of like, oh, hey, I took it apart, learned how it worked, and put it back together even better. Like, I can do that very well. But that doesn't feel like anything to me. That just feels like nothing. So the thing that I enjoy doing versus the thing that I'm good at, I don't know how much, oh God. I don't know how much of an overlap there is. What are the rates on this iron farm? I believe it's about 800 iron per hour. I have not tested it, so take that number with a grain of salt. And the rates do change between daylight and nighttime. Well, daytime and nighttime. So keep that in mind as well. But the rates of all 2-cell iron golem farms should be very comparable to each other. And that's what this is. It's a 2-cell iron golem farm. How do you get so many levels? I think my peak for this world is like 260, something like that. Chat room, do you know? I have a insane, and I have a tutorial for this up on YouTube, but a skeleton grinder that it's a skeleton spawner. Spawns a bunch of skeletons. They go up a bubble vader over across a little tube here and get dropped down, leaving them at exactly 1 health. We then have 4 wolves owned by the player. Well, that's an easy ban. Oh, you beat me to it, James. Very nicely done. So anyway, the wolves being owned by the player then kills the skeletons. Skeletons drop experience. This is an AFK room, so everything that you see in here is an AFK farm. AFK fishing farm, AFK pumpkin carver, nether wart farm, cobblestone farm, concrete converter, gravel to flint converter. This is a nano farm, and we're kind of working on the tree farm right now. I'm trying to set up the bone meal supply for the tree farm. So because I'm AFK in here for hours on hours on hours, I end up getting levels on levels on levels, which then leads to the ridiculous level pool that you see in front of you. I needed more pistons is what I was doing. I named my arrow Infinity. Nice. Pistons. What are we missing? Cobblestone for more pistons. The thing is, you're good at YouTube and Twitch. I mean, good at YouTube and Twitch. I am not complaining. I am not trying to guilt. I am not nothing. With the hours that I put into it versus what I make back, I don't even make a minimum wage job. So like, if I am good at it, it is not translated into a livable situation. The only reason that we're alive right now is I have a wonderful girlfriend who is supportive of this dream, of this passion. I make enough to contribute, so she is not footing the entirety of the bill. But yeah, it's slim pickings. Come on. And my dream also has some really great overlaps with her dream as well. And she does have student loans, so she has to have the traditional 9-to-5 job for at least another year or two. And if this works for me, the amount of overlap between her dream and my dream is insane. We have so much overlap. So if I am successful, then she'll be successful by default, right, if that makes any sense. So she wants to be like a illustrator or she wants to be an artist full time. And if I am successful at YouTube, at Twitch, the amount of overlap between being a successful artist on the internet and being like a successful content creator on the internet, dude, there's an insane amount of overlap. So like we would be able to grow each other very much so. And so she's kind of gambling on me that I will be successful as well, if that makes any sense. Okay, so then we go up into... oh, Pumpkin Farm will automatically supply bone meal to Tree Farm. Yeah, well, melons are actually better than pumpkins at converting it to bone meal. Melons convert at like melon slices convert at like a 35% rate into a bone meal layer, which isn't that great. Pumpkins convert into I want to say it's like a 50% rate at adding a layer of bone meal, but the difference is 1 pumpkin equals 1 pumpkin. 1 melon equals like 7 melon slices on average. So would you rather have 50% of 1 or 35% of 7? And that's the question. And clearly 35% of 7 is way bigger than 50% of 1. I'm a little bit behind on chat. My two favorite series from Nims are the Minecraft Season 2 Let's Play and City Skyline Let's Play that he did on Twitch. Dude, that was a while back. I freaking love City Skyline so much. It's such a wonderful game. That helicopter sounds really low. Can you hear that? We're nowhere near an airport. That helicopter sounds really low. If Nims made another city in City Skylines or made another MC Let's Play on YouTube, I'd eat that up. I mean, content I need to make. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I need to. Okay, I gotta check and make sure we planted everything in here, that it's all growing, that, and it does look good. So that there's nothing stalled in here from the building process. Yeah. 56 months. Nice. Praise the grid. Yeah, praise the grid. So there's just gonna be... Why is there not more in this? Oh, because that one's the one that we just established. This is the one that should have 1 billion in it. Oh, come on. I'm still new at scaffolding. Yeah, that's about what we expected. Yeah, it's still what we expect. Yeah, okay. And now you start to see the power of the melon farm here. So we need to take outputs from that and run it into something. Do we have chests on us? No, but we can make chests. Do you still have plans to edit VODs for YouTube? Maybe. It depends on which VOD. Highlight reels? Nah. But say we play Ragecraft again. Ragecraft would just be much better suited for something like a live stream. And then taking that Ragecraft series that we do on Twitch, cutting it down to like the correct size and length, and then putting that on YouTube. Oh, hell yeah. How do you get Elytra? Visit the end. How are you doing this? How am I doing what? I'm so confused. Flying? Yeah, I have wings. I want to sometime be a full-time entertainer, just like how you want, and you're very chill, and I'm sure you're definitely going to be a successful streamer entertainer. And for your girlfriend, keep her around, my guy. She sounds like an amazing dude. She is. She is truly just a wonderful human being. I mean, that's a little overkill. I need to set up some sort of filter. So I need 2 filters on this. One to have pumpkins, one to have melons, and then we take the overflows from those filters and we run the overflow into a composter. But for the short term, I think we just do like this. So if our if our situation were to change again, I recognize that like I am very fortunate to have such a supportive and loving partner. But if we're honest, the only reason that we can do this is because she has a good job at a good company, and she has student loans that she has to pay anyway. So she's already kind of locked in to that company for, at least a couple of years, right? So it's if that situation changes, like if her student loans are paid off and I haven't found success, well then it's her turn to try to find success at her dream job. So then I would take the more traditional job and support her while she pursued her dream. It's just coincidence that I don't know if I'm explaining this well enough. It's just fortunate happenstance that, actually, that doesn't even need to be there. Fortunate happenstance that it lines up this way for now. Is this working? Did they change it? Can hoppers put... Yeah, there wouldn't be anything in this hopper if this wasn't working. Okay. So it's just fortunate happenstance right now. Slowly slinks away because people are talking about me? Yeah. I like you, girlfriend. I like you. Making yourself 1 block tall. Oh, I would fly, which then changes the hitbox from being a 1x2 into a 2x1. And then I'm able to get in there and crawl. You can also do it with a trapdoor if you don't have access to an elytra. Okay, so, Bradley says, I want to read this. I'm scrolling up a little bit. You were talking about making a living off of YouTube. You're a small channel still. However, I do believe you would be discovered to get your name out there. For instance, with the release of game-changing farm tutorial. I mean, we just had one. The tree farm went and got 920,000 views. It's probably going to break a million views within a month or two. And I gained like 30,000 subscribers off of it. It was insane. For example, your tree farm. However, I'm not saying you are, but Elmango has something similar, and you may be accused of copying him because people who aren't Redstoners can't recognize difference in people's farms. I mean, true, but I do think my tree farm came out before Elmango's did. The whole 100% of that tree farm is my design. The only thing that, like, I looked to the community for is way back in the day, way back when dual wielding was first introduced, TangoTech put out a tree farm tutorial where he sat in a minecart and then like went through some roller coaster of a design tree farm where he then used the right click and left click features as he rode around in a minecart to cut down a tree. That's it. So like I used the right click and left click feature that I saw from TangoTech's video and then built my whole tree farm around it. But yeah, okay. Trying to catch up in chat. Easiest way is standing in a trapdoor and then closing it. Yeah, I don't have a trapdoor on me, or else I would show you. Here, let's see if I can do it. Is it this one? No. Yeah, there you go. See, now I'm in the crawling position, just using a trapdoor. And do it again without the elytra. And then crawling around and placing down those pistons. It's kind of clever, right? So I need to put, what, a bunch of string on top of this so that way it doesn't make all this noise. I think that's a good idea. And then we need to light it. So I will replace into these corners. This is to prevent mobs from spawning. And then I need a buttload of string. How do you give an infinite potion effect to a mob using command blocks? I don't know. I don't use command blocks. Sorry, man. It does promote YouTubers who upload frequently. Also, if your videos sway the amount of views, it will be negative for the creator. I'm not sure I follow. How do I get elytra? You go to the end. Once you're in the end, there will be a little structure that looks kind of like, oh, I can't build this here. I'll mess up. Actually, I'm on top of the Iron Golem farm. Yeah, I can't build it here. You'll come across a little structure that looks kind of like, it's kind of like this. And then it has the same thing on top of it. I don't know if I can teleport up there. Bloop. Try again. Bloop. Yeah. And then there's a little gap here. So the structure looks something like this. And then in between these two little things, there's like I don't know. It looks like just like a portal thing. So it looks like this. If you walk into that portal, it'll teleport you out into the end islands, and then you explore the end islands until you find an end city. In the end cities, and trust me, you'll know what we're talking about. It's a giant, crazy structure. So you explore the end islands. You'll eventually come across an end city. Some of these end cities have boats in them, and if you get into the boat, there are elytra inside the end city boats. And that's how you get an elytra. Putting string on top of the note blocks. It won't affect the Iron Golem farm at all, but it will stop the note blocks from triggering. Okay, I think that's it. And then there's that, so we can start. Oh god, my inventory is completely full. Yo, that's a problem. 3 layers is already faster than a single composter can handle. That's interesting. Is it actually too fast, or is it just behind? Because we had like this layer was completely filled up, right? Yeah, I didn't think 3 layers would need a composter array. So if I missed any important messages, just resend them in chat. The chat room is moving kind of quick right now. Nims, do you have an answer? An answer for what? I don't know. People associate whatever version they see first with the first version, so smaller YouTubers are at a disadvantage whenever they do something first. Exactly. And that also ties back into some people claiming things that are theirs that just aren't. Yeah, you know, I'm never going to be a part. I don't want to be a part of Hermitcraft. Doc M does this all the time. He will post a video on his channel, and like 0% of it is his. And you can find it because you can search the same thing, and you will find a small YouTuber with like less than 1,000 subs who came up with the exact same design. And he just lifted it and posted it as if it was his own. And I was like, dude. It's just such a garbage situation. People are incentivized on YouTube to steal from others. And it just sucks. And they're incentivized to put clickbaity titles in and to misrepresent things. And I don't need this string anymore. I need to make another composter. That's what we needed. Thank you for using the highlight. I appreciate it. Nims, if you average 15k views on one series but only 5k on another that you upload alongside the first series, YouTube sees the difference in views and says that you're not popular, so they won't recommend your channel as much. If that makes sense to you. I see. So the only thing I'm allowed to ever post then is tutorials. Because tutorials get hundreds of thousands of views, and then the regular, like, Let's Play series might get 10. And so that, I didn't know that. It's not perfect, but it should at least split this up a fair amount. I did not expect 3 layers to require multiple composters. Kind of blows my mind. TBH. Do have it as a missed hydrates count as important? I will take a hydrate. Thank you. Nims, I think you need to start a server. One of the things that I would like to do is provide a server for like all of my supporters. That is something that I feel like I must do. Maybe we just go composter per layer. No, because then we wouldn't be able to filter out at the very end. Yeah, this is a kind of a brute forcey way to do it anyway. I don't think it should go there. I think that it should go here because we have this gap that's being created. Like this. I mean, this bottom layer is still preferring something. Okay, so we need to drop this down one more, and then there will be no more preference. And this is really just to for the short term, because we do need to put in filters in this. We do need to add a lot here. So we put in a double chest there. And that's all the same, right? It'd go hopper, chest, hopper, chest. Yeah, okay, it's all the same. Oof. Okay. And then we need very quickly to get under it. I don't know if I'll be able to. I've got like 1 pixel to aim at the back of this guy. Did I get him? If this one empties, I got it. And there's nothing in the hopper, nothing in the hopper. Cool. I really enjoyed this conversation, chat room. I really have. A lot of times conversations like this can just turn into cancer and turn into, like, trolliness. I appreciate you guys very much. Second account for Let's Plays? I mean, there's problems with second accounts, though, because you are splitting your audience. So the account that is the second account is just never going to have the same amount of, I don't know, love or support that the primary account does. And getting the hardest part about doing anything on the internet is like people clicking on stuff. If you have, I don't know, say 100,000 subscribers on your primary account, and then you start a secondary account, getting people to click on subscribe on the second account is going to be the hardest thing in the world. Like it is a monumental challenge. Okay, so all of that is now being converted into bone meal very quickly at a 2 composter rate, and this is slowly emptying. So 2 composters, so 1 composter is not fast enough, 2 composters is fast enough. Because if it wasn't fast enough, then this wouldn't be emptying. Oof, wait, hang on. Let's do a test. Okay, now these hoppers are full. So now we need to be able to watch this empty. And it is. Okay. So we are faster than it. Yeah, very nice, very nice. Okay, so 2 composters is more than enough. Then we also need to set up some sort of filter for the iron golem farm to take the poppies out of here. And I don't know if we want to run them into the same composter array.
Look at the size of that
But the
thing.
Papa Dogan with the $5 man. Love watching you flex when showing off your builds and world. Well, thanks, dude. This is just what I do. But thanks for the $5, man. I appreciate it very much. So I feel a little bad because it's coming off of the conversation of like How do YouTubers make dollars? And how many dollars do YouTubers actually make? So it's just rough. So, well, thank you. Thank you, Papa Dugan. I need more torches. And then, I don't know. Do we want to try to set up that filter real quick for the poppies? Yeah, I do. So we need composter, hopper, comparator, repeater, redstone torches, some redstone dust, a buildable block. I mean, some signs. We'll use the placeholder signs because they work better. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I guess it all works the same, actually, but it's okay. What else? Is that it? And then I also still want some torches because it's dark. That's not what I grabbed. That's what I grabbed. Only Minecrafter I watch. I love the time and testing you put into your build. Well, thank you. I mean, I try. And I don't know, man. That kind of gets back into the... I'm pretty sure some other people don't. And that frustrates the hell out of me. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is we just need to remove all the iron from this build. This is just faster. Okay, so I need to filter out poppies. That's the goal here. I need to get under it. Dudes. The other one's over there somewhere. I didn't see where it went. Iron golems, could you die a little quieter, please? Gonna have more iron than what you know what to do with it? Do we already have so much iron I don't know what to do with it? Like, each one of these iron blocks is worth 9 stacks of iron. So it's that much iron. This one, that much iron. Like... this is already so much iron, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of these represents 9 stacks of iron ingots. This is 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72. That's 72 stacks of iron ingots. And then I've got another 43 here, and... it's just, it's too much. It's too much. I have no idea. I don't know. Let's just put it at the same height. And I do want to say, like, possibly Dana with the $5 reduce. I wonder who that could possibly be. Could it be Dana? Saying, this is a test of the gift thing. What gift thing? What? But thank you, Dana, and again, Papa Dugan. Thank you guys for the love and support. You guys are freaking legends. Yeah, that's all. That's all good. We don't care about a lot of this stuff. Let me just blut it into the lake. Don't care about seeds. I guess I do need to make a composter. I didn't grab one. Let me just put that in there. Oh, okay. So then the question is filtering items. That's what we need to do. How long before you're looking at making beacons then? I think that's coming up pretty soon. As said, upload what you want, because if it's not on a regular basis, I'm not sure how that works with what I said. I mean, fair. I'm stretching. Fair. I think that step number 1 is just uploading for me. I think step number 2 is evaluating the algorithm and then seeing what we need to upload at what times, in what frequency, and what, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, I remember when you were named Budkiss. For sure. Two of them are dying at the same time, and they were like a tick off of each other. That was ridiculous. I'm just trying to think if there's like some clean way that we could do this. I don't want it to take up a huge amount of space. I just want my poppies to go into a composter and get turned into bone meal. And this is empty, which is a great sign. Those are both empty, which is also a great sign. I wonder if we could go back down to 1 composter now that it's caught up. Send you a message on Discord? Okay. Ah, okay. I see your message, and I will respond accordingly immediately following the stream. Thank you very much. This is why you're a mod. Okay. I just need to do something here. It's just awkward because we only have this one train of hoppers. I don't know. What do we think about like putting conceptually a double chest right here and like a double chest right there? One of them representing the iron, and one of them representing the... I guess it would be bone meal. So we filter out the... Let's filter out the iron, because hot poppies are going to have the bone meal array, so the iron can have the filter set up. So how do we do that? I still want it to be centered. Still want that to be centered. I like how this looks so far. Do we reverse the direction of these hoppers? And so that way we get to build the filter directly under the design instead of having to try to squeeze it in at the front. I think that's a good idea. Oh, mistakes! That's fine. That one's the only one we'll have to redo. Alright, and then I can't wait until we're done with this build. I love the sound of iron golems dying, but it's starting to get like, it's like, alright, okay, bud. What I think I need to get inside of there. Did I get the block placed under it? I did. Now that one's facing down. Oh, we'll leave that for a moment. I'm sure that we're going to mess something up and we'll need to get back inside. So we need... I mean, just conceptually, right? Let's just build rough stuff first. Yeah. Can you do what you did with the villagers and just remove the killing device and hoard the golems? Yeah, actually I could. The iron golems are outside of the spawning range of the, or the detection range of the village, so we could just have 1 billion golems in there. I mean, we would eventually run into cramming, but because they're in water and then because they would bounce around, we would probably have close to, like, I would guess like a few hundred golems in there. That'd be my rough guess before cramming even started to happen. I mean, a filter is super simple. I'm just struggling to figure out how we're going to build it in this space with like a straight line of hoppers like that. A filter is this right here. You have a torch like that, and then you have like a hopper facing this way, and then you have a repeater, block, dust, like this, and then you have a comparator chilling here like that, and then you have another right there, and boom, that's a filter. That's what I need to figure out how to build in some sort of sequence that I wonder, is there some sort of chests pull from a specific priority, or hoppers pull from chests with a certain priority? I need more iron. All right. Is that my last chest? It looks like it. Okay, so we're gonna put 60 iron in. And I want to know if the 60 iron ever ends up in this hopper. Can we do this? My girlfriend sent me a message and I was looking at it. I wonder, could we do this a little bit easier? What if we just... I mean, we might be overcomplicating this a little bit. We could reduce the height by 1. We just did it like this. And so there's our 60 iron. Like, technically, that doesn't even need to be a block. That could be another chest. You can use ladders to prevent entity cramming. Right, I know that. But I don't want to because I don't feel like crashing my world. So 60 ends up in there. So how do we... I mean, we just need to get, like, this set up. Okay, so I think I know what I want to do. I need a barrel. And yeah. Because I have to think about this from the perspective of a single chain of hoppers like that. Because I want to keep this as minimal as possible.
You can't tell me what it feels like to wake up.
So do we want the hoppers feeding into the back? Like this? Or 5? And then this would be where our 2 collection systems are. And then we have to move this all the way back up. Okay. Clearly we do this somewhere in the middle. I've got it. So we'll go 2 in the front, 2 in the back. Like that. And so there's our 5 hoppers. And maybe we do this 1 block further forward. And then that puts the chest right here at the front. And then this would go... So it wouldn't be that. It would be... Where'd that composter go, chat room? We're going to need a tutorial on YouTube for this? I mean, yeah, probably. Composter like that. I mean, it's just a super space efficient iron farm poppy converter. I mean, and then not connected to this chest. Ignore the hopper. So these are 2 different chests. And there you go. I believe this works. If we put in iron. The only question I have is, like, what if you put in the iron directly there? Can it ever enter this hopper? So what if we put in 4 iron? Yeah, this can break. Okay. So if an iron golem ever dropped his items directly into this hopper, it would break. Okay, so this does not work. Eventually what would happen is this entire hopper would be filled with iron, and you would never get poppies entering this area. That'd be the issue. I don't think that it can be done this way. I think our original method was way better. Now that I think about it, because this problem is always going to exist if we are trying to move directly inside of the collection hoppers. We need to have some sort of secondary buffer between the two of them. Something that only allows a very limited number of items to ever enter the area at a time. Okay, so I think what we do is we scoot this guy back a little bit. Get our filter set back up. And then we can take this one block lower. Come on, Phantoms, you're gonna have to try harder than that. Pathetic. I need another chest. Nims, can you add a hopper underneath the poppy chest that destroys the excess if it detects overflow? I could, I think. Splat. I need more chests. That's what I want. Chests. Chests. I mean, the issue with like an overflow is it adds more height. And we're already dealing with, like, what is this, 4 blocks of height underneath this? The closest that this could be is, it's very tall. I really would strongly prefer this to be, like, this chest to be at this height. We spin this guy around so it's like that. This is the height that I would like it to be at. So 3 blocks on the front end. It's still technically, well, it's technically like 5 blocks. I mean, we might be able to build this in line. So barrel goes there, and then here's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hoppers that feed into it. So then if we put in our whatchamacallit, it gets pulled out by this hopper before it can ever enter the barrel, and the barrel can never collect items directly. So I mean, technically this works. And then we could spin it just a little bit so that way it's facing correctly. But this barrel can't be a hopper. It just can't be. No, this still doesn't work. It has to be into... It has to be one back, and... So conceptually, this could work, but this doesn't work because then the items could get stuck on the hitbox of the hopper. So the issue with that was, what if this hopper, as it sat above the filter, collected 4 iron ingots at the same time? Well, what would happen is 2 of the ingots would end up through the filter, but 2 of the ingots would go into the barrel and thus clog the poppy composter thing. Too much effort, I'd say. Hopper line out, back down, hopper loop, iron let. Don't worry about the height. Yeah, you're probably right. This is probably way too much effort. It probably is. Alright. Yeah, I concede. It's probably too much effort. And... Concede. Filter needs to go this way. Needs to be iron. And we need those placeholders. Okay, there we go. And, yeah, I was overthinking it, for sure. Okay, so there we go. Iron is now being filtered. And anything that's not iron is going to run through a composter, which we have no room for. A composter? It's not even centered. Bleh. I'm making so many blocks with this Silk Touch pickaxe. It's just ridiculously tall. Who cares? I can at least put the chests in the same line as each other. I could center it. But see, now this should only ever be... Because it'll only ever get added one at a time into this chest. Well, this can't pull out the poppies, so this can. We need to double check that. Make sure that doesn't happen anymore. Way too loud. It got to me. That could have just happened because it backed up, which means that if this backs up, we have problems. This will break every time it overflows, which, considering how fast we get the iron, is gonna happen kind of quickly. Was it friendly creatures? Yeah, there we go. dump a lot of this stuff in here. Because I just need to empty a lot of this now. We just need to get it all. Inventory management. You know what? We should probably leave all the iron blocks out. It's actually insane. Anything else that we're missing? Pretty rain sounds, yeah. Anything that won't compost will clog the system if iron overflows. Exactly. So, like, I need to have some sort of overflow protection. It's just insanity, man. That fast. These farms are just actually insane. So it does work. See, it only ever put one item in at a time. Hoppers always prefer the left side of the chest, or chests prefer to feed into the left hopper, so it'll always check the left hopper first. Which means it'll always check if it's iron first, but then if it's not iron, it must be a poppy, and therefore gets placed into the chest. I mean, shoot, you might be able to set up like a second very rudimentary filter on this. Major problem, because if they overflow, it will go into the iron storage. Well, poppies, it's going to take forever to overflow. It'll take hundreds of hours. Because the rate in which you get poppies, and then the rate in which those poppies are converted into bone meal, it's going to take a long time to fill up this double chest. Whereas filling up this double chest of... to fill up this double chest of bone meal. But to fill up the double chest of iron ingots, that's going to happen in an hour. It needs overflow. Which just makes it bigger. Yeah, I think that this is a good learning experience, but I don't think anything that we've done here can be permanent. Oh wait, that was the iron chest. What do we do with all of these? There's too much iron. What do we... Help! What do? What do we do? That's so much. Burn it? We could. That's likely what's going to happen with the vast majority of our iron. I mean, we do have a ton of space under here. We need to create some sort of overflow. That if it's ever too full, an overflow usually is just adding one more height onto it. It's usually just like a hopper like this that sits underneath. So here, let's see if we can do a rudimentary overflow real quick. So an overflow system is usually something like, instead of this being the hopper that we collect from, this hopper will go, say, into this, and then the hopper here goes into our actual storage. And then this hopper goes into garbage. So this is garbage hopper, and this is storage hopper, and then garbage hopper would have like a dispenser facing into a cactus, into lava, into a fire, something to destroy things. And then we do the same thing here. Is this isn't actually our collection hopper. The collection hopper would be right here. So trash is, you know, we need a dispenser or something like that, right? And then same thing, we need a dispenser, something to shoot it into deletion. Well, that still works, that's good. That's still working, that's good. And then I just need like a... Yeah. I had a second thought, and then I couldn't make it through the door because I had a second thought. I mean, for now, we don't even have to do anything with it. We could just literally have them despawn themselves. They could just shoot it down there and then it despawns. And the same thing could happen here. And it can just shoot it into a hole and then let it despawn. And then to run it, something very rudimentary is needed. Just some sort of hopper spam clock will be fine. Because I am starving, chat room, and I need to wrap this stream up. So I'm just trying to get something that will work for the short term. All of this iron in my inventory is absolutely ridiculous. Look at that, man. He unlocked the Phoenix emote. What, how? Nice. Yeah, everything else is unnecessary. It's very brute force. Like, the definition of. but it works. Okay, so if this chest is ever overflowing, this hopper would then fill up, which then forces the items to sit in this hopper. This hopper would then place them into the dropper then spits them out, and then they despawn. The same thing would happen here on this side. And this can be significantly slower. We're not expecting a huge amount of items to be having this problem. But that is now functional for the, I mean, for the forever future. We'll only ever get a single double chest of the respective items. But it will now function for forever. It's very brute forcey. I will want to come back and clean it up. Okay, I think that looks good for torchlight levels. Aye. It's not very nice. Phantom. Just don't care about some of this stuff. Dudes. Disgusting, chat room. It's actually disgusting. Wrong chest. Try to get this cleaned up as much as we can. Where have we been putting our scaffolding? There's so much junk in here. We've got to clean this out at some point. My goodness. You could make it pretty, but it would take up more space. Yeah, I could. And it works. And the only thing that really needs to be done is I don't like these comparator clocks, or excuse me, I don't like these repeater clocks just running 100% of the time. It's not that good of a thing to do. It's just unnecessarily laggy. But other than that, I mean, it works. It works. And it will work for forever. And I also don't like the fact that we don't have anything down there for the item stuff. You know what? I don't have lava. I was like, you know what? We could just put some lava down there and it would be really easy. But no. Well, that's working. Those are good. This guy is trucking away. I don't think we need the second array anymore. I think that it was just because we had that huge backlog that we needed it. We'll see. It'll be interesting. Saves us on a little bit of world lag, a little bit of resource. And I'm about that life. And on that note, chat room, I think that's going to be where we end the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate it. Ugh, stretch. Papa Dugan and possibly Dana, thank you guys for the love and support. If you haven't already, be sure to hit the follow button. And if you're interested in joining the community, !Discord is where you go to do that. I will be back same time, same place tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. Take care, guys. See you then.